paper lovers, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to be making a card using the brand new Scrappy Mom set from the Inside Out 2. A couple months ago they released From the Inside Out and it was so popular they came out with a second set. And this is sentiments that are made to go like on the inside of a card. You can use them on the front, absolutely, but they're longer sentiments to go along with the sentiment on the front of your card. And this one is like thinking of you, anniversary, missing you type sentiments. I'm going to be using the thinking of you and you've been on my heart and in my prayers. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and get started. The cartridges that I'm using are Doodle Charms, and then all my pattern paper and colors I got from the Cricut Imagine Kate's Kitchen cartridge. I really love that one and I haven't used it in a while. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 size card, and this is Paper Tray Inks craft cardstock. And I've gone ahead and inked around everything with the Tim Holtz Distress Ink tea dye. And let me see what I'm going to do first. Let's see. I have a red mat that's 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. I'm going to go ahead and stick this. Am I going to stick this down? Yeah, I guess I can stick down. Okay, I have that mat stuck down. I'm going to put this aside somewhere. And now I have this green pattern paper that's 4 by 4. And I am going to be putting some burlap across this. And I got my burlap from Liz's Paper Loft. I've never worked with burlap before, but it's really fun. I like the kind of country feel. Oops. That it gives to the card. I've stuck some score tape on the back to adhere it down. And I got my score tape from creekbankcreations.com. Okay, so there's my burlap, and then I'm going to add some seam binding ribbon that I also got at Liz's Paper Loft. And her seam binding ribbon comes straight like this, which I really love because you can use it like this or you can crinkle it like I did. And all I did was I got it wet and then I crinkled it up in my hand and then I dried it with my heat gun and it gives it that crinkly look. So let me grab some tape. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead. I think I want this kind of in the middle. Maybe down just a little bit. Okay, and I can go ahead and adhere this down to my card base. And now I'm going to go ahead and stamp the Thinking of You on the front of the card. And let's see. It's going to go right up here. Let me get this straight. I'm going to use some Jenny Bolin brown sugar ink. It's just going to go right up here. Okay. And let's see. The next thing I have is from the Doodle Charms cartridge. Oh, shoot. Sorry, forgot my handbook. From the Doodle Charms cartridge, I cut the jar, which is on page 95. I cut it at 3 inches. I cut one out at blackout in, excuse me, in this pattern paper here. And then I cut another one, this layer here, and I just trimmed off the top part because I just wanted the lid. And I saw Mary do this from Cards TV not too long ago because the Doodle Charms doesn't have a separate layer piece for the lid. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down to the top of my jar. Jars are really popular in paper crafting right now. I'm going to set this aside for a second. Okay, and then I'm going to add a label and a little sentiment to my jar. So here's my little label, and for this I used Elegant Edges. On page 29, I used the oblong and the shadow, and I cut them at 1.5. And I just cut the little one out of cream and then the shadow out of green. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp a sentiment on here. And I'm going to use the Scrappy Mom Set Mini Messages. I am going to use, where'd it go? With Love right here. I love mini messages, and I definitely recommend it for all card makers. The sentiments on it are wonderful. You get so many of them, first of all. And because they're so small, they're perfect for card making. I really, really love that set. So the With Love is going to go right there. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let me go ahead and adhere that down to my jar. And that's going to go right in the center of my jar. And then also from the Doodle Charms cartridge on page 85, I cut a couple of these hearts out. I cut one at 0.5 and one at 0.4. And remember, I did make this in my Imagine. And the 0.5 one is out of this little green, the same green that I used on the shadow of my label. And that's going to go right there. And then my little red one is the one that's 0.4. And that'll go right there. Okay, and then we can go ahead and adhere our jar down. And I was trying to decide if I'm going to pop it up. I think I am going to pop it up on some foam squares. Okay, so I have my jar all up on some foam, and that's going to go right here. And then I've also tied a bow out of that seam binding ribbon, and I'm going to grab a glue dot. Here come my little monkeys up the stairs. Okay, so that little bow is going to go right there. Oh my goodness, I'm in love with this card. Okay, now for my inside of my card. I cut another set of those labels, and these are cut at, let's see, 3 inches. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment first. Use that same Jenny Bolin brown sugar ink. My favorite brown ink. Okay. And then, let's see, I'm going to set that aside, grab my card again. I have a strip. I had cut some of this pattern paper out, and I didn't end up using it on my card, and I didn't want to waste it, so I wanted to bring some of the red into the inside of the card. So this is just 1 inch by 4 1/4. And that's going to go right along there, and then I'm going to stick my label over top of it. Right there. And then I have 2 more of those hearts cut out, and I cut these at 1.2 and 1 inch. Oops. So that's my finished card. Thinking of you with love, and then the inside says you've been on my heart and in my prayers. So I'll put a link down to the Scrappy Moms blog in the description box so you can go check out their new stamps. Thanks everybody for watching, and have a blessed day.